Hello dear students, welcome to English grammar class. I hope all of you are doing well. So students, in this video I shall be continuing with chapter 4th, that is modal auxiliaries. So students, in the previous video I explained you the meaning and definition of modal, that what are modals. See, modals are basically verbs. They are basically verbs that are placed before the ordinary verbs or the main verb. So modals are verbs that are placed before the main verb and they express permission, possibility, certainty, necessity, ability and suggestions. So modals are nothing but verbs. And I explained you in the previous video, I explained you 6 types of modals, namely can, could, may, might, shall and should. So I will be continuing with the types of modals and explaining you the usages of them. So I will start with the next modal, that is will. So I will explain you the usages of will, that where we use will. So students, first of all, will is used to show intention or willingness. Willingness means wanting to do something, that is called willingness. For example, I will wait for her till she turns up. I will wait for her. This is showing intention, willingness. Next, I will help the poor and needy, means you are willing to help the poor and needy. I will do this work at any cost. It is showing your intention that you want to do some work, you want to do a particular work. This is showing your intention or willingness. So I think that the first point is clear, that will is used to show intention or willingness. Second, will is also used to make a request. Yes, if you want to make a request to someone, we use will. For example, will you lend me your pen please? Will you please lend me your pen? Means you are making a request, you are asking something from somebody and you are requesting something. So will you please lend me your pen? Will you help me with my homework please? Means you are requesting somebody to do something. So in order to make request, we use will. Students, will is also used to make a prediction. Yes, will is also used to make a prediction. That means to predict something. For example, you will be a great businessman one day. Means that thing has not happened, but you are predicting that it can happen or it may happen in the near future. This is called prediction. Means something has not happened and you are predicting that okay, this thing can happen in the near future. This is called prediction. Like example, you will be a great businessman one day. You will pass the examination with flying colors. Means you are making a prediction. So in order to make a prediction, we use will. Next example, if Sam does not quit smoking, his health will suffer. Means it is also a prediction that if he does not quit smoking or does not stop smoking, then his health will suffer. Means this is a prediction. So in order to make a prediction, we use will. Next students, we use will to formally announce some future event or some future activity. We use will. For example, the president will inaugurate the exhibition on Monday. The president will announce. Means this thing has not happened, but it will be happening in the future. But this is already planned that something is going to happen in the future. So to formally announce something about some future event, we use will. So I hope that the usages of will is clear to everybody. Now students, let's move to the next modal, that is would. So I think will is clear. Now we'll be moving to would. So I think that the usages of will is clear to everybody. Now students, I'll be moving to the next modal, that is would. So first of all, would is used as a past equivalent of will. or would is the past tense of will. For example, I said that I would come the next day. Means in order to talk about the past, we use would. Then it indicates, what indicates? Would. So would indicates past habits or characteristics. For example, Raman would take a walk every morning in the local park. Raman would take a walk. Means now he is not taking. Means I'm saying about past, that Raman would take a park every morning in the local. Sorry, Raman would take a walk every morning in the local park. Means earlier he used to do this. Means this was a habit of Raman, or this was a routine of Raman which he used to which he did in the past. So in order to indicate about past habits or characteristics, we use would. Then students, sometimes would is also used to make a polite request. Yes, when we have to be very polite or making a polite request, we use would. For example, would you please pass me the papers? Means making a very polite request. You are requesting somebody very politely. Would you please send me the documents? You are requesting somebody very politely. So in order to make a request very politely, we use would. So I hope that the usages of will and would are clear to everybody. Now students, let's come to the next model, that is must. So I'll explain you the usages of must. So first of all, must is used to express a strong obligation. For example, you must improve your handwriting. You must eat green vegetables. Means something that you have to do. That is obligation. Means that you are bound to do. That refers to obligation. Means you have to do that thing. Okay. You must improve your handwriting. That means that you have to improve it. You must eat green vegetables. Next, must is used to express a necessity. Yes, it is also used to express a necessity. For example, the country must assure education for all. Education is a necessity and the country must assure it. That means something that is a necessity. So in order to express a necessity, we use must. You must tell me the truth if you want me to help you. So it is a necessity. If you want me to help you, I will definitely help you. But before that, you must tell me the truth. So in order to express a strong obligation and a necessity, we use must. So I hope that the usages of must is clear to everybody. Now students, let's come to the last model, that is ought to. See, ought to means that something that is right to do, that is correct to do, a right thing to do, that is called ought to. So ought to is used to express a moral duty. For example, you ought to help the poor and the needy. Means it is your moral duty to help the poor and needy. Next students, ought to is used to express ought to is used to express probability. Probability means chance. Chance means the chance of happening something or the chance of not happening something. That means 50-50. That refers to probability. So, for example, this book ought to be very useful. Means probably this book is very useful. There is a chance of this book to be very useful. Next, the project ought to benefit. Please cut that line. The project ought to benefit all. Means this project may benefit everybody or all. Means there is a probability or there is a possibility that the project may be beneficial or it may benefit all. So I hope that the usages of ought to is clear to everybody. So students, I have explained you all the 10 models that were mentioned in your book. Now we have one more topic, and the next topic is marginal models. Now what are marginal modals? Students, I explained you that modals are verbs that are placed before the main verb or ordinary verb, but marginal modals, they are used as main verbs. That means they are not placed before the main verbs, but they are used as main verb. See, because they can function on their own, they are not dependent on, they are not related to the they are not related on the, or they are not related to the main verb. Rather, they function on their own as an ordinary or a finite verb. Now there are three marginal modals. The first is used to, the second is need, and the third one is dare. These are three marginal modals, and they are used to express necessity, doubt and disapproval. So in order to express any necessity, doubt or disapproval, we use marginal modals. Now students, I will be explaining you the usages of all the three marginal modals. So let's start with the first one, that is used to. So used to is used to refer to past habits or states that existed in the past but no longer do so. But that means that the activities or the habits that existed in the past but currently or in the present, they do not exist. For example, Jack used to play a lot of cricket before he went to the boarding school. Jack used to play means earlier he used to play a lot of cricket, but before he went to the boarding school, means after he went to the boarding school, he does not play cricket. This is the first example. Second, I used to like coffee earlier, but now I don't drink it. I used to like coffee earlier means talking about the past, that in the past I used to like coffee a lot, but now I don't drink it. So I hope that the usage of used to is clear to everybody. Now let's come to the second marginal modal, that is need. So students, need is used to express necessity or doubt. So in order to express any necessity or doubt, we use need. For example, you need to explain me the problem if you want my help. So necessity is there, means if you want my help, then you have to explain the problem. You need to explain me the problem. Unless and until you explain me the problem, I won't be able to help you out. So this is a necessity. Second, these problems are simple. I need not explain them. So these are the examples of need. Now students, let's come to the last marginal modal, that is dare. So students, dare is used to indicate a strong disapproval or to indicate that an action needs courage to perform. If you means it is used to indicate that an action needs courage to perform, or it indicates disapproval. For example, how dare you tell a lie to me? How dare you? See, means needs courage. How dare you? Next example, how dare they talk to my parents like that? How dare they? Next example, we dare not to make any noise in case the teacher gets angry. In this, it is indicating disapproval as well as courage, but that we do not have the courage to make any noise in case the teacher gets angry. So I think that the usages of all these marginal modals are clear to everybody. So students, modals, they are used to express the mood of the speaker. So I have explained you 10 types of modals, that is can, could, may, might, shall, should, will, would, must and ought to. And then I explained you about marginal modals, that they are used as main verbs or they are used as finite verbs. So I hope that this chapter is clear to everybody. I have explained all the concepts related to this chapter, modal auxiliaries and I expect you to solve all the exercises that are given in your book of this chapter. So till then, thank you so much. I'll meet you again with the next chapter, with a new chapter in my next video. So students, please work hard, study properly and be safe. Thank you so much.